Hey guys, my name is Eric Cleary. I'm a real estate investor, a business owner, and a team lead of an investment-focused real estate team here in the Niagara region, which is located in Ontario, Canada. Today I want to take some time to talk about triplex conversions and triplexes in general and why they're such a safe and sound real estate investment that you should be focused on. One of the advantages to working with somebody who understands different municipal bylaws, you can take a single-family structure and maximize its sort of use and overall value if you know what is possible in that specific area. And that's what we're going to talk about today is there's different municipalities. There's a lot more available today here in Ontario than there were last year in terms of R1 single family zoning that can be converted to 3 legal units. This is something that's known as Bill 23, which is provincial legislation that has been imposed on different municipalities across the province to allow real estate investors to really maximize performance of a real estate investment if it's a single family home. So why I like doing conversions is you're taking something that's existing like a single family home or maybe it's a duplex, and by adding an additional unit, not only are you creating wonderful apartments and space for people to rent and live in nice neighborhoods, you're also really increasing your returns. You're creating a lot more rent, being more cash flow. You're creating a lot more value in the property because people are willing to pay more. The banks are willing to appraise it for higher because it brings in more rent. There's more structure. There's more square footage. There's all these sort of positive things that you're able to create. And in turn for you putting in that labor or working with someone like me who's going to sort of organize and structure it for you, you're really truly able to create a lot of equity. And that's something we call forced equity. So you have standard market appreciation, and then you have equity that an investor, a real estate investor, can create by updating, adding more square footage, legalizing, separating units. And that's something that we're really excited to sort of talk to you about today, and some of the different style homes that you should look at that work really well for taking a single family home and making it 3 legal units. So I think first, before we get into some of the nuts and bolts of what it requires to convert a single family house to 3 legal units, I think I need to really talk about what a triplex is. A triplex is what investors, banks, insurance companies look at and refer to 3 separate units that could be in one structure. It could be technically, 2 in one structure. A detached garage could have its own unit. It's 3 legal units. So whether it's all contained in one space, whether it's on one lot and it's 3 units total, that's what we refer to as a triplex. Every triplex might look different, and they can look different, right? Like I said, you could have a very sort of conventional, traditional brick building that has 3 floors, 3 units, right? And that's what most people would think of when they think of a triplex. Now, what we've been doing, the investment team and orangelist and my architects and contractors and my entire team, is we've been taking what traditionally would be a single family home where families would live, that you drive by and it's a side split, it's maybe a back split, it's maybe a 2-story home. These homes have a really good footprint to create self-contained units that are not only lucrative in terms of capital, but are very attractive to tenants and very inviting for them to want to make it their home. So it's important, again, going back to understanding the bylaws, because you can't do this in every single city. Yes, there's legislation supporting it here in Ontario, but it's still not something you can just do wherever you want. So what we're trying to accomplish with doing triplexes in these nice neighborhoods is, A, we're attracting a new demographic, because not everybody wants to live in a traditional brick building that's in a high density area. Some people want to come home at work at the end of their workday, and pull into a nice neighborhood where they have a driveway, that they have their own parking spot, they have a nice backyard. They live somewhere that feels like their home, yet they're still a tenant renting a portion of that home. So it's like everybody gets a little piece of that tranquility, let's call it. Now, the main style of these sort of homes that we look to convert, as I briefly just mentioned, side splits work very well. 3-level or 4-level side splits, because 4-level preferably because it gives you a bigger basement apartment. These style homes, usually you walk in, there's a living room, a kitchen on the main level. You go up some stairs on the left, there's a bathroom and 3 bedrooms. That makes for one apartment. Now, You come in the back door, that's already existing, right? I'm talking about an existing house and how I'm using what a traditional builder has built for a single family and turning it into an investor's dream, becoming a tenant's dream of somewhere they want to live. So that back door, there's stairs that go down in the basement. Now, normally there's stairs that go up, bring you to that main level where the kitchen is. We actually want to block that off. We're going to fire rate that. You're going to go into the basement. You're going to have big windows because a side split is built in a way where that first level in the basement's actually only about half underground and half is above. So you get nice, really big windows. That's good for code and good for what the sort of inspectors want to see in terms of lighting requirements and safety in terms of fire for exiting. And at the same time, it makes the space feel like it's not so much of a basement, right? It really makes it feel bright and open and inviting. And those are things we look for. So that's usually where we put our kitchen. That's where we're going to install our second kitchen. So it's open, it's bright. You have an open concept kitchen and living on that level. And then you go down to the fourth level. There's a few more steps, right? We're talking a 4-level side split or a back split. What I'm telling you actually is very similar for a back split as well. You go into that lowest level. That's where you have the opportunity to create a 1 or a 2 bedrooms, right? And your bathroom is usually located down there as well. Now, sometimes the bathroom's located on the other level, depending on the size and style and footprint of the overall house. So it's my job and my team's job to maximize your space and to be very conscious of what we're creating. That not only is going to be impressive to banks and help you get good appraised values, but what's going to generate the rents and the quality of tenant you're trying to put in your house. So that now creates 2 units. The third unit is actually possibly in a detached garage. So those are the sort of products we've been selling a lot these days. So you have a duplex in the house, and then you have a single 1-bedroom apartment that's detached and that we convert that used to be a garage. So I don't like building the structures from scratch. I'm not saying that's bad. There's a lot of companies out there that have pre-built homes that you can now add on, and you simply do the electrical and the plumbing. But again, my job as a investment-focused realtor is to take something that never had the intention of being investment and use all those pieces to make it an unbelievable real estate investment. And that right there, if you say those homes here in the Niagara region sell from $600,000 to $650,000, by the time you're done doing the renovations, which range from $170,000 to $250,000, those homes range from value of being worth around $900,000 to $1.1 million. So you're able to create equity. You're able to generate over $5,000 a month in gross rental income. They definitely serve their purpose for investors, but they're also still attractive investments for someone who maybe can't afford to live in that neighborhood, but they move into one of the units and they rent out the other 2 units. And because they're legal, the bank's actually going to use that as income qualification to help you get approved for the deal. So there's a lot of positives there. There's a lot of different ways and tools that can be used to help you achieve your financial success or goals, whether it's personal or sort of business and financially related through these conversion projects that are known as single-family to triplex conversions. Now, I'll touch on what other style of investment, because you can do a triplex in a single structure. So you could have, like I said, a 2-story house with a basement. So I've done 3 units that are 1-floor unit, 1-floor unit, 1-floor unit. Side entrance goes down to the basement. I've added a new exterior door in the front. So 1 door goes into the main level, 1 door goes up a set of stairs to the 2nd floor. That's totally possible as well. I've just done it. So that's a style. Usually you get a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, and a 1-bedroom. That's sort of the breakdown. Now, another style is a big 4-level side split where the existing garage that's part of the house, that plus a little bit of square footage of the sort of back entrance when you come in on that ground level, those style homes usually have a bathroom and a bedroom. So we steal the space from that part of the house and convert the garage into an open living space and kitchen. That creates a 1-bedroom apartment. You come in the back door, you go down the stairs, you're in that 4th level in the basement, you create another 1-bedroom down there. So you have 2 1-bedroom apartments, and then you have the traditional 3-bedroom on the main, which is the main level, and then the few steps that lead you up to the 2nd floor. Those are the 3 main styles of homes that are currently registered or listed as a single family that can be converted quite well into 3 legal units. So you got side splits with detached garages. You've got side splits with attached garages. You have back splits, and then back splits with detached garages, or a traditional 2-story. Those are your 3 major. I'm not saying nothing else can be converted. Obviously, I've done a triplex conversion in a bungalow, in a raised bungalow. That's also possible. But the ones that you really want to keep your eye on that work the best are the ones that I have just mentioned and just listed. Now, as much as I've covered the certain style of homes that work very well, you still need somebody that has experience, because there's a lot of variables that still need to be considered and carefully planned and thought out. Ceiling heights matter under bulkheads, water line upgrades. Usually you need to upgrade to a 1-inch water line to be able to service all the new fixtures. Plumbing fixtures, what I mean is adding new sinks, new dishwashers, new laundry. There's a lot of different components. So just because, I've shown you what style houses it can be done, it doesn't mean that every side split's going to work and every back split's going to work and every traditional 2-story is going to work. So make sure you're still working with someone, if it's not myself, with the experience, because they are very capital intensive. And that's on a good day, right? If everything goes as planned, they're still very expensive to complete. If you buy an asset that has a lot of challenges, like the water line's located in a bad spot, the egress window where it needs to go is by a gas line, you can all of a sudden start to rack up a lot of expenses that were unforeseen. Maybe the water line's located under the existing driveway, right? Boom, there's 20 grand all of a sudden that on something that might have been 5,000. So working with someone very skilled and who really understands everything is of the most importance. And as much as I want to educate people and hopefully excite them and want them to explore this sort of investment opportunity with me, before you pull the trigger, there's so many different components. And you'll hear me discuss those with you on a sort of micro and a macro scale. So please, guys, be very careful, run your numbers carefully, really prepare and increase your budgets where needed. And your real estate investing journey will be a lot more positive than those who don't do those things. So as I wrap up sort of this video, and hopefully, you guys watching have learned a lot, and I encourage you guys to reach out to me directly and ask me anything you'd like to ask, and I'd be happy to walk you through it. And I'd actually truly value the opportunity to really explain what it is I'm trying to accomplish here with these triplex conversions. So the next important thing that I briefly mentioned was you can live in one of the units and rent out the other two, for instance. Maybe you want to live in the detached garage, rent out your house as a duplex. That's what it's referred to, that sort of style or that, approach is better known as house hacking. And that's where you essentially live somewhere for pretty much no costs. Yes, you have to buy the house. Yes, you have to do the work to convert it if it's not already done. But the point remains the same, that you're living in one of the units and the rent from the other two units cover your insurance, property tax, gross mortgage payment, repairs, all that sort of stuff. Now, even if you're out a little bit of money, to live in a neighborhood like that I'm referring to, those houses might cost you $600,000-$700,000 to buy. And on top of that, you have all those costs. You could be $3,000-$4,000, even $5,000 a month to live there. If you're able to generate $3,500 across two units, and your total cost of living is $4,000 in a current interest rate environment like we're in now, where they're a bit higher, you're only spending $500 a month. That's $6,000 a year to live in your own space, whether you're in the structure that's attached to other units, whether you're in a detached garage renting out your house. There's strategic ways to do it where your living costs are close to nothing. That allows you to save more of your income and to continue to invest, further. And obviously, acquiring real estate assets gives you the power of ownership. I know people get lost and confused with cash flow, and they focus purely on cash flow. There's the power of asset ownership that it really needs to be considered and carefully made as significant of importance as possible. And, it'll give you the power to acquire more. It'll give you higher net worth. It'll give you flexibility and freedom in a booming market, in a down market. So asset ownership and acquiring assets is obviously super important for any sort of financially literate individual that wants to really build wealth. And I believe these triplex conversions, whether as purely made as investments or as maybe a house hacking play for you to buy your first house or your second, I think can be a wonderful opportunity for you to further your financial wealth journey and still live maybe in a spot that you want to call home. Thanks, guys, for hearing me out. I really hope, again, that I can connect with some of you and show you some of the projects I've completed in the past and really walk you through the numbers and maybe try to identify if it's the right investment for you. All right, guys, again, my name is Eric Cleary. I am a co-founder of a property management company here in the Niagara region, which manages over 1,000 units. I am the team lead with an investment-focused real estate team, and I'm a project manager that oversees, 30 to 50 conversions every single year. So, guys, thank you so much for checking in with me today. I really appreciate your time, and I hope to speak with each of you very soon. Take care, guys.